Shark calls this vacuum a carpet powerhouse. That's the headline on the box, that's the whole pitch. But once you look at how this thing actually performs in real homes, one of Shark's biggest claims doesn't quite hold up. And strangely enough, that's not even the most important thing you need to know before buying it. Welcome to Sweep Gear, where we break down vacuums the honest way so you spend your money on the right machine the first time. If you've ever owned a pet, you already know this frustration. You vacuum, you flip the machine over a few weeks later, and there's a thick rope of hair wound around the brush roll so tight you need scissors just to cut it free. It's gross, it wastes your time, and it's one of the top reasons people go shopping for a new vacuum in the first place. That exact frustration is where the Shark Vertex AZ2002 makes its case. It's built around something called DuoClean powerfins, which is really just two rollers working together, a soft one up front and a fin-style roller in back, so one machine can handle hardwood, tile, and carpet without you swapping heads or owning two separate vacuums. Here's where it gets interesting. This vacuum was pushed with an amount of long hair that would completely destroy most machines' 2 full grams of 14-inch hair wrapped directly around the brush roll. Almost nothing stuck. A tiny bit caught in one wheel, and that was it. Most vacuums start struggling with a fraction of that amount. If you've got a long-haired dog or a cat that sheds like it's their job, that result alone is worth paying attention to. But suction and hair resistance are only half the story, because a vacuum also has to actually pick things up. This is where the Vertex earns its reputation. Its suction and airflow rank among the strongest ever measured on a Shark upright. In practical terms, that means it grabs fine dust like sand almost instantly, and it handles bigger debris too, cereal, kitty litter, the stuff most upright vacuums just push around instead of picking up. On hard floors specifically, this is where the Vertex really shows off. It doesn't just pick up dust, it leaves the floor looking noticeably cleaner afterward, almost polished. If your home is a mix of hardwood and tile, that detail matters day to day, not just on a spec sheet. So carpet performance should be a slam dunk too, right? This is where we circle back to that opening claim. Carpet cleaning here rates as average, not exceptional. Not bad, just not the standout performance the marketing around powerfins might lead you to expect. If your home is mostly thick, high-pile carpet, this probably won't be the vacuum that blows you away on that specific surface. It'll do the job, it just won't be the hero of the story there. That's worth knowing up front because it changes who this vacuum is actually built for. It's not a carpet specialist, it's a hard floor and hair resistance specialist that also handles carpet reasonably well. Now let's talk about what it's actually like to live with this thing day to day, because there's a maintenance detail almost nobody mentions before you buy. The front soft roller can trap debris behind it over time, and if you don't clear that out occasionally, the machine can start losing suction or even shut itself off. It's not a defect, it's just part of owning it, and it takes maybe a minute to fix once you know it's there. But if nobody warns you, that shut-off moment feels like your new vacuum just broke. So consider this your heads up. Give that soft roller a quick check every so often, and you'll skip that headache entirely. Filter maintenance is simpler. The foam and felt filters need a rinse roughly every 3 months, and the HEPA filter only needs attention about once a year. That HEPA filter matters more than it sounds too, because this machine is fully sealed, meaning dust and allergens that get pulled in actually stay locked inside instead of leaking back into your air. Capture rate lands around 99.9% for particles as small as more 3 microns. If anyone in your house deals with allergies, that's not a marketing footnote. That's a real difference in the air you breathe. Let's talk about what it's actually like to push this thing around your house, because opinions genuinely split here. In controlled handling comparisons, the Vertex scored very well, easy to push, pull, and carry compared to other uprights in its class. But plenty of owners using it in real homes describe it as heavy and a little tiring, especially on stairs or across a big house in one session. At around 16.5 to 17 pounds, depending on configuration, it's not the heaviest vacuum out there, but it's not light either. If you deal with wrist or mobility issues, factor that in before you buy. It's also not a quiet vacuum. Sound levels land around 77 to 78 decibels, on the louder end for this category. If you've got a napping baby or a sound-sensitive pet, plan around that because this machine doesn't try to hide it. One more practical note. The dust cup holds 1 quart, smaller than a lot of competitors at this price. It empties cleanly with a bottom release lever, no digging through it with your hands. But in a bigger home, you'll be emptying it more often than you'd expect. If you're considering this one, I've left the product link in the description so you can check today's price and see what other buyers are currently saying. So is this still the one to get, or has Shark already replaced it with something better? Shark's newer flagship, the Stratos, does outperform the Vertex on carpet specifically, and it adds an odor neutralizing feature the Vertex doesn't have. That upgrade comes with a real price jump though. If deep carpet cleaning and fresher smelling air matter more to you than saving money, the Stratos is worth a look. If you want flagship level suction and best in class hair resistance without flagship pricing, the Vertex still holds up extremely well. It's also worth a quick mention against Dyson's Ball Animal 3, since a lot of shoppers cross-compare the two. Dyson edges it out on raw suction numbers, but the Vertex brings the same lift-away versatility at a friendlier price, and its 5-year warranty runs longer than what you'll typically get from Dyson in this category. So who should actually buy this? If you've got mixed flooring, mostly hardwood and tile, with some carpet mixed in, if you own pets with long hair, or if you want strong suction without paying premium prices, this checks every one of those boxes convincingly. Shark also sits near the top of the category for owner satisfaction at the brand level, which adds real peace of mind for a purchase like this. Who should skip it? If your home is mostly thick, high-pile carpet, you'll get better results from something built specifically for that job. If you need something lightweight because of mobility concerns, this isn't it. And if a quiet vacuum is non-negotiable, look elsewhere. Here's the honest bottom line. At full price, this is a solid vacuum, but not a screaming deal, especially with the Stratos sitting right above it. This model gets discounted often though, sometimes 40 to 50% off, and at that price point, it becomes one of the smartest buys in this entire category. You're getting flagship level suction, genuinely impressive hair resistance, and a 5-year warranty, all for a fraction of what comparable performance usually costs. This isn't a perfect vacuum, it's heavy, it's a little loud, and carpet isn't its strongest surface. But for the right home, especially one with pets and a mix of hard floors, it delivers exactly where it counts, and it's upfront about where it doesn't. Do you have mostly carpet or mostly hard floors at home? Tell me in the comments. It actually changes which vacuum I'd point you toward. And if this kind of straightforward breakdown helped you out, consider subscribing to Sweep Gear. We do this for every vacuum before you spend your money on one.